White took it away from the rookie Hawkins.
Drilled. Deep right center field. Way back.
The coffin on this one for the Buckeyes. Woo! Gotta get much tighter contest on that type of range.
He certainly did. Whoa. Ball drilled to hit there.
Hello, and good morning, world, and welcome back to yet another fun-filled episode here with us on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast as we embark upon what will be another great episode this morning. And so, yes, world, we are back like a shark attack, back like we left something, back like we ain't got no clothes on our back, and for the world is a better place when the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast is taking place. And so thank you for tuning in with us this morning as we conversate about the latest sports topics that have taken place from this past week and will be upcoming this week. It is always the blast to have you all tune in and participate with us every weekend. As a reminder that every week we always like to begin our podcast by reminding our audience that the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found on Facebook via the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast community page, on our Early Morning Sports Talk podcast social media page, on IG. You can find us again on IG at the Early Morning Sports Talk POD, again on Instagram at the Early Morning Sports Talk POD, YouTube, search the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, as well as our own Facebook pages via Brandon Price, Jamar Goodman, Ian Jones, aka Peoples Hernandez, as well as our guests for that weekend. Today is May 18th of 2024. And we have seen yet again another fascinating week in the sports world. After watching the Boston Celtics take care of a banged-up Cleveland Cavaliers team en route to clinching a berth to their third straight Eastern Conference final. While on the other hand, the Minnesota Timberwolves hammered the defending NBA champion Denver Nuggets in Game 6 and has forced a decisive Game 7 tomorrow night in what has been a fantastic heavyweight fight. This has been a fantastic series, and it's just fantastic to see Anthony Edwards grow up as a 22-year-old right before our eyes. On the other hand, the New York Knicks, banged up and all, had a chance, as well as the Dallas Mavericks will have a chance tonight. The New York Knicks had a chance to close out the Indiana Pacers, fellas. We Marcelo, Jamar, myself, Purdue guys. But Naptown handled their business, and they have forced the Game 7. I picked the Pacers to win that series. I'm hoping I'm right because the New York Knicks have been banged up, but damn it, they are going home, and that crowd in New York is bunkers. However, on the other hand, the Dallas Mavericks tonight will have their opportunity to close out their respective series and punch their tickets to the conference finals after choking Game 4. And now they're in the Game 6 scenario. But shout out to the MVP run-up SGA. That boy's a baller. Lastly, we watched some highly anticipated WNBA rookie debuts in which for our Chicago Sky, things went well, and the Sky were in control, oddly enough, the entire game, defensively, etc., up until the final 3 minutes when the superstar for Dallas took over, and she did what she did. Hopefully this could be a learning moment for the young Chicago Sky team, or perhaps an indication of more to come. While on the other hand, Caitlin Clark struggled in her rookie debuts, getting 10 turnovers in her first game, and then additionally following up with a blowout, very bad blowout at home in Indiana versus the New York Liberty. But she scored the ball pretty well on her first go-round. But she is in the process of going through getting schooled, as most rookies do. But she will have a chance for redemption tonight in New York versus the New York Liberty. And so with that being said, introducing our guests this morning on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, whom is joining us for the first time, Mr. Marcelo Sheriff. Sorry, ladies, Mr. Marcelo Sheriff is already taken, and is a married man with 3 beautiful children. One of his professions include being a special agent, and not just an agent, but did you hear that? A special agent for Homeland Security. He is also a real estate investor and apartment owner. On the sports tips, he is a lifelong Lakers fan and also a Hornets fan, being that he was born in North Carolina and has also adopted the Bucks when he moved to Wisconsin back in 2014. And so with that being said, everyone, please join me this morning in welcoming our guest to the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast for the first time, Mr. Marcelo Sheriff. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Yeah, good morning. I'm great, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for joining us. Yes. Additionally, introducing Jake. Are you there?
It's not here.
Oh, he's not here. All right. So we're going to introduce our NBA playoff guest. He'll probably join us a little bit later. On the other hand, additionally, introducing my brother from another mother and one of my partners here on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, Mr. Jamar Goodman. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Man, we got some basketball to talk about, Brandon.
Oh, we do. Definitely. We do. Yes. And lastly, introducing our partner here on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast and our other brother from another mother, Mr. Ian Jones, Mr. AKA Rod Tidwell, AKA People Hernandez. Mr. Ian Jones, my bro, what it do?
Man, how y'all feeling this morning?
Great, bro.
Good.
Sir, yes, sir. God is good. Yes. And so with that being said, fellas, yes, let us progress with our conversation. And so, yes, welcome again, Mr. Marcelo Sheriff, our guest.
Thank
We
you.
got to talk some NBA playoff thoughts, fellas. So, what will happen, Marcelo, is that we'll follow with Jamar. Jamar always have the first will. It's like a pecking order of a lineage. Jamar get first dips, Ian get second dips always, and then you, as the guest, you follow up. And so, with that, Jamar, we'll start with you, my brother. Let's start with the New York Knicks and Indiana Pacers series, since this one hits home. What are your thoughts from this series? Has your pick changed? Is it still the same? Like, what's happening with this series, bro?
Whew, man. It's two teams that really it feels like both teams definitely wants to get past and make it to that Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, we haven't seen either one of these teams in the Eastern Conference Finals in years. Yeah. I know the Pacers are definitely more recent than the Knicks on that one, but nevertheless, it goes to show that I feel like the Knicks are, I want to say, quote unquote, tale of two teams. Like, one, when they are really like going and you know, catching their stride, and Brunson's playing well, and DiVincenzo and Hart and all them boys, you know, they're very tough. They're very tough because they're physical. They outwork you. They hit tough shots. They feed off the momentum, energy, and stuff like that. But the reason why I say tale of two teams is because on the flip side, as hard as they work and as hard as they, you know, hustle and stuff, it's like the gift and the curse. Because as we know, Tibbs like to push his players. And with that being said, unfortunately, you're starting to see the injuries slowly but surely starting to show up.
At the worst time.
Yeah, at the worst time. Initially, OG Anunoby with the hammy. That was a big blow. And now, you know, recently, you know, Josh Hart. I haven't seen Josh Hart actually come out the game, but he just really wasn't himself with that rib scenario. So Josh Hart plays a vital part for this team. So in this upcoming Game 7, like, his health is a major factor on top of it. And the Pacers, you know, with their backs against the wall and the coach, you know, calling out the team and stuff, basically you got to rebound. You got to be physical. You got to go get it. And, you know, Miles Turner, you know, answered the bell on that in Game 6, but can he do it again in Game 7 in Madison Square Garden, where it's probably one of the most hostile arenas on this planet? And
right.
So,
and also, Jamar, just to help you, bro, also number 22, Johnson, he's a good rebounder too for the Pacers. Number 22, the skinny, tall guy with the dreads.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And so, I mean, I came in with the Knicks in 7, so it's pretty much playing out how I think it's going to play out, but I mean, as we know, Game 7s, anything is possible. But yeah, with this one here in this series, with it going to Game 7, I am still sticking with my pick of the Knicks. Jalen Brunson has, for the most part of the series, been sensational. I know last night. He has. It feels like he was, the way he played, he feels like he was born and raised all the way through, like in the heart of New York, because he just adapts that mentality of those fans. Like, it is a perfect match. And so with all that, being said, I'm sticking with the Knicks. Jalen Brunson, I feel like he's gonna have a monster game. I mean, in order for the Pacers to have a chance, Halliburton has to play his behind off. All the role players have to play their behind off. I don't know if they have the capacity to do so. I understand Josh Hart is banged up, but still, I just something about that momentum, that energy, that toughness. In order for the Pacers to win, they're gonna have to beat them. It can't be a close game. All close games, in my opinion, is favored by the Knicks because based on how they play. So,
Right.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with my pick on that one.
Yeah. And bro, your thoughts from the series?
It's been a phenomenal series. I thought New York would have put him away in 6 because I got him in 6, but in the Pacers they fall back, put up a damn good fight. So I'm gonna still stick with New York, but a lot of these series, including this one, is given that early 2000 kind of playoff basketball vibe. We're not seeing, the 130 point score. These teams is barely, they barely touching 100 points, maybe 110 here or there, but it's been some great basketball, man. Especially in this series with Jalen Brunson. I feel like he's almost. We're seeing him ascend to maybe that all-star level, consistent like all-star level. We're seeing him just kind of blossoming right in front of us, and this is where you do it in the playoffs when it's most important.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a great series. Even Indiana, they showed up. Even games where I think they wasn't gonna show up, just like yesterday. I mean, they've showed up. So I still got New York in. I had New York in 6, but I still got New York in 7, of course now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a great series, man. It's been a great series, very entertaining, man.
For real. Yeah. Marcelo, I guess for this morning, bro. What are your thoughts on the series?
Man, I mean, this series has been fun to watch. This has probably been one of the funnest series we've seen in a while. A lot of close games, a lot of real competitive games. So, I mean, I've been tuning in and enjoying this. Originally, I just thought the Knicks were the better team as far as just as the heart that they have, how hard they play. With Tibbs out there, they're going to play defense and they're going to work hard. And I think that's what's been getting them to the point that they're at right now. But with all the injuries and everything, I mean, I think that Josh Hart is the backbone of this team, and I think the way he plays is very important to this team. And with him having that abdominal injury or the injury that he has, that's a big issue. That's the core right there. And if your core is out of whack, man, you're gonna have problems. And so with that being said, I think that it's gonna come down to just executing. And with the last game, I think we had McBride who kind of stepped up and tried to take a lot of the work and load off of Hart, but it still wasn't enough. DiVincenzo didn't show up like he usually does. How he's been, and I think that's going to impact the last game. The way that these games have been going, the home team has been able to take the wins for each game, but in this one, I kind of think the Pacers they're gonna show up for Game 7, and make it to the next round. I think it'll be about a 7-point game, man. I think the Pacers are gonna take it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm riding with you as well, Marcelo. And the reason being, Jamar and when we had Frank Nazis on, I stated that the ceiling I thought for the Pacers was the conference finals. And so hopefully they'll prove me right. But New York, man, they are. I mean, who expected them to do what they did game 5? They blew Indiana out the water. Like it was embarrassing. But it shows you just how strong these NBA playoffs are and how bright these coaches are, guys, how bright these staffs are to be able to get whooped one game, but then come back the next game, make adjustments, and then it's just like a boxing match. And it's beautiful to watch. And Jamar and you guys have all played sports, Marcelo. It's like, how do you continue to adjust in a series like this in execution of a play? Because that's what the NBA playoffs seem to be, Jamar. It's like saying if you're running a play as a Coach Spurlock give you a play, Coach Spurlock expect you to just execute the play. That's all he wants. He wants you to execute the play. Right, Marcelo? Your coach wants you to execute the play. And that's the NBA playoffs. It's like, do you have the stamina? Do you have the discipline to execute the play? But it's easier said than done, right? Obviously, it's a lot easier said than done. But that's what makes it so beautiful. This is a primary series right here, man. And it's just basketball at its best. But speaking of basketball at its best, fellas, we got another series. The defending NBA champion, Denver Nuggets. And which I picked to win the series actually in 6 games. Now it's going 7. Fellas, Jack, Ian, Jamar, they been telling me about this Timberwolves team. Here they are. Now I've been new about Anthony Edwards. I'm damn near ready to change my pick. Good morning, Keith. Good morning, bro. Good morning. Yes, joining us from Florida. Good morning, my boy. Jamar, man, what's your thoughts with this series, bro? Give us your thoughts. Good morning, Jake.
Yo. Whew. This here is box office. This has been my most favorite series to watch in this round by far. Because you have the defending champs who is top to bottom that team. I mean, we saw them take out Celo's Lakers in the first round. My bad, Celo.
Come on now.
But nevertheless, I mean, the Nuggets are a legitimate team. And then on the flip side, you have the Timberwolves, who last year at this time we was talking about how much they got fleeced off that trade for Rudy Gobert and all those picks they gave away. And look at them now, like a formidable team, a team that, and a lot of people thought coming into this year, probably a year or two ahead of the curve. And I think a lot of that goes to the, development of Anthony Edwards. So with all that being said, this series in particular has been these games has been unpredictable. Like, I had the Timberwolves in 6, and I still have the Timberwolves winning the series. But I mean, I didn't come to think that, Timberwolves will go right into Denver and win the first 2 games. And then on the flip side, I didn't think that, the Nuggets would come roaring right back, win the next 3. And then I definitely didn't see them win the Timberwolves winning by 45 points either.
Man, just beat the hell out of them. I mean, it was bad. And the thing, Jamar, I'm sitting there watching Joker, fellas. He looked like he was pissed. On the sideline when he was standing up, he would sit down on the bench.
For sure.
Man, wouldn't you? You just been named the MVP?
Ain't nothing you to say.
you just been named the MVP. You just won the championship, and you getting beat down by 45 points. That team only scored 70 points.
70 points, bro.
What is this? They got locked down by the 04 Pistons?
I'm telling you, this goes back to Ian's point.
Bro. No, I mean, it's so I could definitely see this playing out 2 ways. One, you can definitely see the Joker come in Game 7, show why he's the MVP, put on a masterful performance, one of the best performances of his career and just go on to the next round like it's nothing, or we could see a legacy defining moment in Anthony Edwards, who maybe drops another 40 point bomb in this series. He already got 2 of them.
Yeah, he do that, Jamar. Boy, he gonna elevate. Boy, he take out the champ. Boy, I'm sorry for cutting, but boy,
I mean, yes, like it has a defining moment opportunity here, like one of those key games that you could probably play your My Player on 2K or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is one of those games. Like if he want to, double up his VC, this is the game for it. So
double up his VC,
man. So yeah, with all that being said, I'm sticking to my guns. I'm taking. I feel like, and I've been saying the dog with the biggest bite. I understand that Joker is the best player in this league, but I'm still taking the dog with the biggest bite because he has shown more times than not he's gonna go down. He's gonna win or die trying.
Right, man.
So,
we talking about drama for your mama. My goodness, and it always comes down. Look, Jake. Me and Jamar always make picks, and it always come down to like game 7, the final damn moment if it's an NFL game, 1 minute, and then Jamar always win. Hopefully I'm right this time. We'll see, man, because I believe that Joker has the dog with the biggest bite. But Jamar, I as you know, my bro, I've been on that bandwagon for Anthony Edwards since he got in the draft.
Yeah, since day one.
I believe in him heavy, and it's really good to see this kid descend. I mean, us saying to be just astronomical at this point, and he does this, man. His status is just going to increase. And so, Ian, bro, you got second dips. What's your thoughts on this series, bro?
I didn't see this series going like this at all. I don't think a lot of us did. For them to come out and get 2 games in Denver, but like you said, they can't. Denver, come back with their championship pedigree. They come back and get 3 in a row. And then honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I thought the series was over. I was like, well, like they about to pack it in, they're gonna win 4 in a row and
right
on to the Western Conference Finals. And Minnesota said, not so fast, my friend.
Right.
So man, it's game 7, so I had the Nuggets in 7, but man, I don't know, man. I might want to change my pick.
I'm about to say, if you want to come over here, there's more room.
So I'm not gonna lie. So I would love to see Anthony Edwards take that next step and send the champs home. But I can't deviate from that championship pedigree of the Nuggets. If the Nuggets come out and play like we know the Nuggets can play, with Michael Porter Jr. with that beautiful shot that he got, just firing at all cylinders. Jamal Murray come with the time.
He the key in. If he don't hoop, they don't do well. If he hoop, they do well.
But I mean, who's to say that Minnesota not gonna come and play that defense that they play? And we see Denver can't do nothing when they come to play defense.
Right.
Everybody come to play. When Nas Reed come to play. When the whole starting five come to play. So. Man, it's hard. This is a hard one to pick. Who's gonna win this game 7? It's gonna be very entertaining. I don't think we're gonna see a blowout either. I think we're gonna see a close game, hard-fought game. I'm gonna stick to the Nuggets in 7 because of their championship pedigree. But I think if we see Anthony Edwards send them home, I think we are literally watching the next superstar grow up right in front of our eyes in this playoffs.
Right. Yeah. I'm glad you didn't compare him to Jordan yet, because Jordan, I like the baby Jordan comparison, but sometimes it's like, he got long whatever.
Yeah, as far as the accolades, but as far as the talent, I mean, besides Kobe, with that kind of same mentality, I mean, it's
you right there. Yeah, I agree. It was a stat, Ian. It was a stat, bro. Like, I don't know if you ran into it, Ian and fellas. It was a stat where him, Kobe, And Jordan only did
Mhm.
something, and he just hit that stat. That's special, Ian. That's special.
I mean, he knows that. I don't think he's going out there, trying to be Michael Jordan or whatever, Kobe. He's just playing his game, man. He's just playing his game, having fun, and doing his thing. And he's still young, man. He's still young. I don't think nobody's seen
That's the
this from
thing.
Anthony Edwards
Right.
at this young of an age. Man, if he sent them champs home, man, woo-wee. Adidas, they got one. They better treat him right.
Right.
Man, yeah, yeah. So we're gonna follow up with our guest for this morning. We're gonna follow up with you, Marcelo, and then we're gonna get your thoughts as well. Jake, good morning, my bro. And so, Marcelo, man, what's your thoughts on this series?
This has been a great series, man. It's been very entertaining to watch. Going into the first two games, man, Minnesota, they look different. Like it was like watching a professional team play against some kids, the way that they was bullying the Nuggets, and it was just everywhere on defense, man. It was crazy to watch. I was like, these boys can't get nowhere. They trying to go. But I think we were fooled a little bit in game two when Rudy set out. I think that's the better team when they don't play with Rudy. I think it just allows them to be more to the flow more on offense. And I think with Nas reason there, the defense is turned up a little bit more, which is crazy to say because Rudy Gobert is a multi defensive player of the year, and I've never seen a defensive player of the year that I don't trust on defense. And that's that's just crazy.
Marcelo, though, can I help you out really quickly, bro? I said the same thing. I'm like, it seemed like they played better without Rudy because when he didn't play that game, two fellas, due to his baby being born, that's when they really embarrassed the Nuggets.
Right, and if you notice the game that they won last game, Rudy played the least amount of minutes that he's played in a while. So I think the coach is starting to figure out that they play a little bit better without him, and they're gonna if they do that again, where he only plays 25 or 28 minutes. I think that they're the better team defensively, and I think that they're gonna overcome the champs. But I think it all depends on Rudy, man. If they go back to letting him play 35, 40 minutes, they just can't handle it. Jokic, that boy embarrasses Rudy. He looks like he's playing against a dude that's 6 out there.
Game 5, it was embarrassing, wasn't it?
It was very embarrassing. So I'm gonna go with Game 7 being won with Anthony Edwards going to work, and I think Nas Reed is gonna get that playing time he needs, and I think he's gonna be a big factor in it as well.
All right. Yes. All right. Jake, my bro, what it do? What's going on? What's your thoughts on this series, man?
Well, my thoughts, I had Timberwolves in 7.
Right.
So, my thoughts in the series, man, it's been the most entertaining series in a while. Like the NBA been boring in the playoffs, low key. But I say this the best series in the last couple years that I've seen on TV. Personally,
it's one of the I was thinking about that too, Jake. Like this got to be one of the most memorable. This is a series you're gonna remember for years. Yeah. And the good part about it is that Minnesota's young, Jake, and Denver young too. So these could be scenarios, fellas, with just the Western Conference. This could be stuff that can happen for years to come.
No, for sure. But Timberwolves definitely play better when they play small. Because you got Cat. You know what I'm saying? He could shoot the 3. He could go to the mid range. Cat is very versatile. Gobert he's just the standard dummy. You know what I'm saying? He don't do too much. Denver, in order for them to win Game 7 in a home court, they gotta play. They just gotta have a strategic ball. You know what I'm saying? They gotta run it. They gotta run their system. If they don't run their system, they're not gonna win. Minnesota just gonna, you know what I'm saying, antagonize them, you know what I'm saying, into turnover. And when the Nuggets have so many turnovers, it's game over. So I'm still sticking with Minnesota in Game 7. I feel like they're gonna come out on charge. They're gonna come out on charge, gonna come out handling business.
Right. And so in this case, this lets us know, fellas, that me and you and we got Denver and Marcelo, Jake, Jamar, Minnesota. So they believe in Minnesota. And fellas, I totally agree. I don't knock you for it, man. I mean, this is one of the best series. And it's as I stated, it's something that could be for years to come with all these teams and their youth right now. We were talking about Marcelo last week, OKC, and how young they are. And we're about to talk about them right now. I picked OKC in 7, but man, Dallas should have really closed them out, Marcelo. We all know as basketball fans, they should have closed them out in 5.
Yep.
And me, Jamar, and even Jake know as sports fans, it don't take a damn rocket scientist to realize that Chet Holmgren right now is a baby. He's a kid. He's a little boy under there. And Dwayne, Mr. Gafford and Lively, they have been feasting on that kid. And it's part of the reason why I stated Marcelo as the Lakers. But thanks to Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs changing everything that last day of the season, the Lakers would have played the Thunder. And I stated if the Lakers would have played the Thunder, they would have put them out. They would have beat them. They would have beat them 6-7 games, one of the two. But things kind of changed with, Victor Wembanyama kind of disrupting things. And so, Jamar, that's one of your favorites. And they'll be disrupting things for years to come, too. if he's on the court, he's just too damn big and too talented. And so with that, Jamar, speaking of this series, what's your thoughts from this series, man? You still got the Thunder or what? Because I don't.
I'm not jumping ship. I'm gonna go down like the Titanic if they go down. That's just what it is.
Good.
But to your point, like the way just by the eye test, like I agree, this series should have probably been over already because Dallas has played better. It has been more so the better team. Because for whatever reason, I feel like the best player on the court for the Dallas Mavericks in 5 games is P.J. Washington.
Yeah.
That man is shooting like he's Klay Thompson out here. Well, before the injury, Klay Thompson. Like, he just, like, whatever reason, this man is always open. This man is always hitting these corner threes. This man always doing these poses. It's like, bro, like, he the one that's the superstar out here. I know Luka's still doing his thing.
Paid.
Yeah, he is. And Kyrie Irving has been pretty much irrelevant.
They've been locking him up. Huh?
That's SGA. That's defense. That's that SGA defense.
But nevertheless, they're still getting it done. And back to what you said about Chet Holmgren, that was my thing about the series for the Thunder. Like, he would have to play like the unicorn prototype that he is to really make it work for the Thunder. And he's getting pushed around. And a lot of Thunder fans this whole calendar year been saying that team needed another big because they have been seeing it the whole time that when size matters down there, he gets bullied. And you see, and that's been really, besides P.J. Washington, the real difference maker in this series. SGA has come to play more times than not when the Thunder winning. The role players, both Jalen Williams, Dort hitting threes and all sorts of things, but it really comes down to, for the Thunder side, Chet Holmgren. Like, you have to show up. I mean, you was taken as a top 3 pick a couple years ago. Like, you have to. If the Thunder is to win this series, he has to show up. Point blank, period. If he doesn't, you're going to see P.J. Washington doing one of these, going to the conference finals, and then at that point, ain't no telling what's going to happen with that team. So yeah, I will go down like the Titanic. If we if the Thunder hit an iceberg in Dallas tonight, then so be it. But
so be it. And the truth is, Jamar, if the Thunder hit an iceberg before you go in, I'm not mad at the Thunder because they're youth right now.
Correct.
And from the fact that Marcelo, we all know what the picks they got for the future. They got a lot of capital, brother. They got a lot. So they got a lot to work with. And so we were just talking about how the Western Conference, some of these teams are going to be around for a while. The Thunder are one of them. And so I'm not even mad if they get pushed out tonight, if they do. But if they get past and they win this series, then it's a super warning to the NBA, a super warning that they should have been what they should have been back with James Harden and Kevin Durant. They, they should have been championships, at least 1 or 2. But that whole nucleus, I don't know why they broke all that up. That should be a 30 for 30 in my opinion, 10 years from now. But
it was playing time, bro. People was mad. People was mad because they ain't the playing time. They ain't jail. Everybody wanted
And also it was money too, right, Jamar? James Harden wanted a bigger bag, right?
They chose to pay Serge Ibaka over James Harden. There you go.
Right. Voila. Yeah. Right. So with that, that should be possibly an explanation for that. Marcelo 15 years from now. Like, why the hell that Thunder team never was reached this peak? But now Daryl Morey, I mean, this organization has done it again. And shout out to them, a small market organization doing amazing things. They got a lot of capital. So if they get pushed out, I'm not mad. But that's if they get pushed out. But if they win this series and they're in the conference finals with pretty much just SGA, this should be a team that should be seriously reckoned with for years to come, maybe a decade. Ian, bro, what's your thoughts?
Initially I had Dallas in 7. But as we stated, Dallas, the series should be over. But you gotta finish games. You gotta put these teams away. They're a young team, but it's a reason why they're one of the
number
top
one
teams in the
seed.
West. Yeah. So the great player SGA, these other young cats, Jalen Williams had a nasty dunk the other night. They're not gonna go nowhere. I still feel like Dallas should win with they got a little bit more veteran players on their team, so maybe Kyrie will show up in Game 7. I feel like if Kyrie show up in Game 7, I feel like it should be an easy win. But if not, we can't expect Luka to just put it all on his back and do everything, because they're not gonna win like that. So
Right.
Dallas, they're gonna have to come to play as a team, I would say.
Okay.
They need a big night from Kyrie Irving. We
They
haven't
do.
in
You
this
gotta
series. I
close.
don't think he's had a real big scoring night.
At all.
He's had he's had moments and timely shots for sure, but I feel like they need a big game from Kyrie.
Right.
Put him
Let me
away.
ask you this, Dan. Do you think he's saving his best for last? Because when it come to clutch games, close out games, it was a record they showed Jamar. He like something or something. He got a really good record when it comes to close out games.
It's possible. I don't like to think that players do that, but I feel
But he
like
got
you're
a
supposed
track
to come and
record
play
in.
every night. Yeah, I just feel like you're supposed to come and play every night. And,
I agree.
granted, some nights it's not your night. It's not gonna be your night every night, but maybe you know maybe he'll put forth a little bit more effort, you know, in Game 7. But I just feel like you're just supposed to come play every night. But they need a big night from Uncle Drew.
Right. Definitely. Yeah. Marcelo, my bro, what's your thoughts from this series, man? And who did you have for this series?
Man, to be completely honest, first of all, I didn't even have Dallas winning against the Clippers. I didn't. With all the injuries, that kind of changed everything. With the Clippers being injured and Kawhi sitting out. So honestly, they shouldn't be here right now, but they are. And that comes off the back of Luka and Kyrie, who were playing pretty well in the previous series. So when this series came about, I think Dallas was the better team, and I still think they're the better team. I think the Thunder's just too young in the moment right now. I mean, SGA is SGA, and nobody can handle him. But the playoffs are not just about those stars, man. They're about those next up type players, and I think that Dallas just has more of those type of players on the roster for them. I think in the future, when when Chet kind of becomes more into himself, they're going to be a problem. I mean, they're going to be a problem for a while, especially with the cap room that they have. But I think right now, at this moment, I think we're going to see a big game from Kyrie. We know that he's known to close out series. He's done it multiple times, especially for the championship. And I think we're going to see that again. I think that Kyrie is going to step up and he's gonna have at least about 25 points, and he's gonna go crazy in the second half.
Okay, yeah, Jake, bro, what's your thoughts on this series?
Man, it's been an actual entertaining series to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? You got the young cats of OKC. You got these somewhat babies but veterans on the Dallas Mavericks. I had Dallas in 7. I said Dallas in 7. I got Dallas in 6. I'm sticking to my point. I'm sticking with my Dallas in 6. I feel like Dallas is gonna close it out tonight. If not, they'll do it in 7. But I stated before the series started, Dallas has the more firepower than OKC. OKC, I'm not trying to put them down for being the number 1 team in the West. They did what they had to. They got that for a reason, and they also got that because it was a 3-way tie in the Western Conference Finals. In the Western Conference. But I feel like OKC has OKC still have a lot of growing to do. Like SGA. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the league for a little minute, so he know what type of player he is. We don't know. Right. We don't know everybody else on that team. Like, what can they be? You know what I'm saying? They still haven't reached not even potential. They ain't even, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even crossed the threshold of like taking this game seriously. You know what I'm saying? Dallas on the other end is playing for all the marbles. They finna throw the book at them. They finna throw the kitchen sink. They finna just find a way to win. And OKC has to do the same thing, even though they're a young team. So I'm sticking with it. Dallas in 6 and Minnesota in 7. That's for the Western Conference. I came in late when I was talking about the Pacers and Knicks. I still got my Knicks. It was supposed to be Knicks in 6, but the injuries kind of threw me off. I still got Knicks. So Knicks in 7, Minnesota in 6, and I still got my Dallas in 6. And I you see what I said, Boston in 5. That closed out the other day. So
Right. Yeah. And so, man, fellas, I got 2 things. Number 1, I want to say shout out to the Clippers for letting go of SGA.
Terrible.
Because y'all remember he was with the Clippers.
Yeah, for sure.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? He was a baby, hair all nappy and stuff like.
Hey, they want to play off.
Probably had no tattoos. He had no VC at the time.
I had no tattoos.
Bro, fresh off the creative player menu.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
No VC.
They still doing the intro.
Brown shirt on.
They still doing the intro cutscene.
With the 2K. So y'all stupid.
He ain't got no major brand shoe on. He got the generics on.
The generics with the little 2K on the side, dog.
Yeah, it has the generics on.
Pro wings.
It's crazy, man. So shout out to the Clippers, man, and their organization for doing that. I know they look at him and be like, damn, imagine what we could have been. But hey, they definitely could have been holding down an organization through even Kawhi's injuries. SGA could have been holding that organization down.
And even looking at it from a business aspect, they're about to go into this new stadium. He would be the new star, new young star going into a new stadium and starting like a new new thing. Yeah.
Yep. Now you got some banged up stars. Yeah. The other thing I want to say, fellas, is I believe Luka Doncic is going to win a championship soon. I don't know when, but I think it's coming, fellas. I don't know what
Be
year. I think it's coming because his playoff experience and how he plays the game. We got to start paying attention to this man, Marcelo, and how he approached the playoffs. This would be his second conference finals if he clinched tonight, which for me would be mightily impressive in a tough Western Conference. But go ahead, Jamar.
I was going to say, I do agree with you as a matter of when, but also I would also throw this into it, a matter of where. Because I'm not too convinced he may still be in Dallas.
Really?
Yeah, him and Joker best friends, man. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I definitely seen that on this rumor reel that Luka gonna go to Denver because they ain't gonna pick up Jamal Murray contract. I definitely seen a rumor mill on that for sure.
Imagine that. They could be in trouble, a whole lot of trouble.
I mean, that would be cool because you could have Jamal Murray at 2. I still, personally, I keep Jamal Murray. I put him at the 2.
You'll fight to keep him, Jake, and give up whatever you got to give up to keep him?
Yeah.
I
would try. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know if
at that point,
I don't know if it'll be possible.
At that point, they're gonna lose.
If I'm giving up. Go ahead.
At that point, they're gonna lose everything. They will have to give up Michael Porter Jr.
But I would rather keep Michael Porter Jr. instead of Murray in that one though.
Yep.
It won't be a trade. It'd be off a straight contract, like he picking up the contract.
But it could be a sign and trade.
Half of the Nuggets team is on like a 1 year, 2 year. And Jamal Murray, they got
to get rid of.
Right, huh?
I said they're easy to get rid of if they're on a 1-2 year contract. They're easy to, easy to.
Jamal Murray. And then if they keep Jamal Murray, they keep him on a 1 year, 2 year. And then you could bring Luka in. You ain't even got to get him a full, you know what I'm saying? You ain't even got to get him a full, fully guaranteed contract. As long as he making at least they can get him a contract 3 year, $100 million. He'd be decent. Then you could structure Jamal Murray. Now you got a 1, you got a 2, and then now you got another ball handler on the court.
That's
keep Michael Porter. You could keep Aaron Gordon, and you could keep Caldwell Pope. You could keep you could still keep your nucleus and still have some bench. You know what I'm saying? Some bench players. It's just
if that would happen, that would be amazing. I just know if I'm an owner, Jamal, I'd be like, hell no, y'all got to give me Jamal Murray.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be contingent on Luka wanting to take that pay cut, and then he probably at this point when he time to re-up, it's gonna be 50-60 mil a year.
Yeah,
right. And so that means Denver will have to give up a lot in order to meet that demand.
If I'm Cuban, starts with Murray, at least.
Yeah, man, that's interesting though. But y'all know Murray be hurt a lot. That's the whole damn reason I feel like Minnesota. Part of this is going 7. It's because of Murray being hurt. It's just me. He's been hobbled. I agree. I agree. It's both, but part of it is Murray's injury too. Man, he been hobbled. He ain't been himself.
But man, when Minnesota plays small, they faster up and down the court. That's what I'm saying. Like when they play small, you don't have nobody. You ain't got nobody trailing. They on point and they play full court pressure. They coming at you as soon as you cross half court, or they coming at you as soon as you trying to put the ball in. They trying to take that ball regardless because they don't have any ball handlers on Denver like that. Right. You got Joker. And you got Jamal Murray. Them the 2 best ball handlers on the Nuggets. If you could take the ball,
Murray is kind of hurt, and so they kind of bothering him. And so I agree with you, Jake. I think part of it too is because he's hurt too. But give a lot of credit to Minnesota, man. It's been a great series, and so we're gonna see what happened with that, fellas. On the other hand, Boston didn't play with their food too much. But I think part of it was, fellas, just Cleveland was banged up.
Yeah, I do got a question about that series.
What you got?
We can even start in basement early. I got a question about this. It's been
Uh-oh.
a big question.
Uh-oh.
It's been a big question. Like this whole.
Oh yeah, my
last-
bad, Jamal.
You good?
Like this past last week. Um, do you think Donovan Mitchell is the number one option?
Can I answer that real quick?
Yeah,
No.
go ahead. But what?
Hell no.
But why not though? Because I feel like in this playoff, I won't necessarily say I would disagree with you, but I feel like in this playoffs he did come to show up. Like we always get on Donovan Mitchell about shooting a lot of shots, not being efficient. But in this playoffs and statistically, he has shown up.
I
I just
can
feel
answer
like
that.
he didn't have nobody else to show up with him consistently. I should say.
So here's my thing. Like Donovan Mitchell, I mean, in the course of his career, then I'm gonna go right back to this year. But in the course of his career in the playoffs, more times than not, he has performed and put up buckets. That part of it, I mean, it's there. We can't, say that he hasn't. But
Yeah.
the thing is, for you to be that guy, to be that number one option, it ain't all just about putting up these numbers and stats. It's about elevating your team. He does not
Right.
elevate his team at all whatsoever. He's like a souped up version of Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine could put up buckets all day and night, but do we associate Zach LaVine with winning? No. By any means, no, nowhere near. Matter of fact, Zach LaVine has the worst winning percentage, I think, in the league in his career. Like just look at his career, and it's like he's a souped up version of Zach LaVine. Donovan Mitchell does not make his teammates better.
So
Matter of
would
fact-
you put him? So would you put him in that tier of? Because I heard this statement the other day. So would you put him in that tier of? He's an all-star because he's been all-star like 5 times, like 5 or 6 times in his career. So would you put him in that tier of like a Paul George, a DeMar DeRozan?
Paul George, DeMar DeRozan, Tracy McGrady.
I would say, maybe on the lower end of that.
Yeah,
Because
of
Yes,
course.
on the lower end of that tier, because I've seen Paul George carry his team to the Eastern Conference Finals. I have yet to see Donovan Mitchell make a conference finals or anything. I've seen
DeMar
DeMar-
DeRozan been to the conference finals. I mean, he had
Correct.
Kyle Lowry,
Yeah,
but he's been there.
finals, yeah.
Correct. Like we seen that. McGrady, that's a whole different ball game because I feel like a lot of that is injury. But nevertheless, as far as Donovan Mitchell is concerned, in this particular, like maybe one game in the whole playoffs that he actually like elevated his teammates in one game between the Celtics series and the Magic series.
Mhm.
Like I said, he can score the ball, all that stuff, yada yada yada, but you're not elevating your team. Because I feel like with that Cavs team, I feel like Garland should have had more control of that offense to really elevate the rest of his teammates. He's more of a person that can elevate his teammates, and Mitchell should have been finding his spots within the offense. Mobley should have been elevated a lot more. But regardless, Donovan Mitchell is not a number one option whatsoever. Maybe
So number 2.
Maybe, depending on who your number one is. He is a perfect third option. But it depends who your number one option is for him to be a number 2 on your team. I'm going to leave it at
Right. And,
Yeah,
and a follow up on Jamar. Go ahead, Em.
I had to ask, man. It's been a big discussion about Donovan Mitchell, man. It's been a big discussion.
Right. He's a hot commodity right now. As you know, like he's a hot commodity and being rumored by specific teams, Lakers, etc., Marcelo, which we're gonna talk about shortly. But basically, I follow up with N. I follow up with Jamar, and he doesn't elevate his teammates. He's a gifted scorer, very gifted, nice. He's a hooper, you know what I'm saying? But he don't elevate his teammates, and he'll do it. He'll look good, Jamar. You know how, for instance, at Purdue Cal, Marcelo, it's me for a moment. I'll look good against the Chinese or specific folks when I'm playing basketball. But if I'm playing like real hoopers, you know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of get shut down a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ever know somebody that be going off against somebody trash, be showing out, trying to, ooh. Then when they go against some good hoopers, that's Donovan Mitchell in a way. Like when Donovan Mitchell go up against that elite second round, like that elite competition, and when they get down to them crucial moments, bro, he ain't there, and what really hurt me the most, y'all, was that he got injured. I'm like, damn, like, because I'm like, these
I don't
could
think
have
it would
been
have made a difference though.
redeemed himself. This could have been a nice moment, Jamar, for him to redeem himself, to get that narrative off him, but he got hurt and he got out, and it was just like, man, like, it sucks for him because I wanted to see him actually elevate, and it just makes me begin to even bring up rumors of the Lakers and even the New York Knicks, fellas. He's from New York, you know what I'm saying? He hooped like a New Yorker. He would be nice to be alongside Jalen Brunson. You know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be a lot of offense for New York. And so, this guy can put up 40, 50 points, y'all. The question is, how many shots and will it be benefit? Will he do what he got to do on defense, Jamar? Will he got to do what he got to do to be vocal? Will he do what he got to do to go get those loose balls when it's the third, fourth quarter? Marcelo, that's my thing about Donovan. Marcelo, what's your thoughts on this, bro?
Man, I mean, I like Donovan as a player. He's a very gifted offensive player, but I mean, he's also undersized too, playing the shooting guard. Yeah. So I mean, he's really got to focus to me on what you guys have been saying. I agree. He needs to get his other teammates involved. I think Darius Garland is an amazing player, and I think he should have been way more involved in the offense than he was. So to me, that's kind of where his downfall is. If he's not putting up 70, then nobody talking about him. With that being said, man, I think that he can't be a number one option on any team unless there's a 1A and 1B, like Batman 1 and Batman 2, like Christian Bale and Michael Keaton or something. Like, there's got to be two of them.
Right.
But just him by himself, nah, he's just not that guy. If I see him moving, I would like to. I can see him on the Knicks, but I don't know if that'll mesh well with Jalen Brunson, who needs the ball to do what he does.
Facts.
Right.
If he was to go to the Lakers, me personally, I might get some flack for this, but I'm tired of LeBron. Like, I'm tired of LeBron teams.
Thank you. Thank you.
LeBron has changed the whole trajectory of my Lakers team, man, and I'm ready for him to retire.
Thank you.
But with that being said, he might fit better. Mitchell might fit better on a Laker team where, LeBron needs to have the ball a lot less. He needs to be playing like 25 minutes a game and let somebody else really take the wheel. And if you had Mitchell and you had AD doing their thing, I think that's a better fit than two guards on the Knicks trying to hold on to the ball.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, if you put it that way, that puts LeBron towards point guard role, which is the role I think he's been trying to stay at, but somehow it just goes back to him doing everything again.
Because that big ass boy should be down there in the paint, not trying to pass the ball. Get his man. Come on, bro. Like,
who are you talking
Speaking of, then take control of your segment, man. Before Jake get to talking, take control of your segment, and please.
No, man, let him talk. We talking about AD or you talking about LeBron?
He's talking about LeBron.
He should stop all that bitching him on and get his ass in the paint. You 6'9".
I mean, he do that, but I mean, that's not his position. At that point, he'll be the point guard of the offense.
Man, look, he came in the league as a small power forward, right?
What's a small power forward? Tell me. Can you tell me what's a small power forward? Explain what's a small power forward, Jake. Explain to the American people what's a small power forward.
Because he came in as a small forward, but he's big enough to play the power forward, right? He's 6'9", right? He's
big enough to play all 5 positions, but yeah, I mean, he's been listed as a small forward, but predominantly he's been the ball handler and the floor general on every team he's been on.
I can't say
Yeah.
on every team he's been on. I could say when he went to Miami, because at Cleveland he was not the main ball handler for sure. His
It was
first
Eric
Ball handler
Snow.
in Cleveland.
It was Eric Snow.
Ew. Mo Williams.
Right.
Booby
Them- them-
Mal.
them-
I mean, what?
Them dudes were spot up shooters. Them was spot
Like
up
those are
shooters.
spot up shooters though.
Hey,
I mean, the problem with LeBron is that man is too old to
Delonte
be
West?
the best player on the team, man.
hey,
Yeah, that's the thing right
hey,
there. That's the
Don't
issue.
bring
right
up Delonte West, man. We might get canceled. You know, we might get canceled. All right. Don't let them get to the sports news. You know, LeBron had a problem with him touching his mama, so don't get us. All right.
there.
Look, but Marcelo, to hit on your point, bro, like I'm not ready for LeBron to retire yet. And I firmly believe, bro, that this playoffs just so happened to be thanks to Victor Wembanyama. What happened on the last day of the season? It was about who was matched up against who. And maybe the Timberwolves probably would have beat the Lakers, but outside of the Denver and the Timberwolves, everybody else could have got in the West, in my opinion.
No, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I think the Lakers tried to be strategic with their play. I think they took some
and they
terrible.
came back to bite them at the last.
Yep. I think they took some terrible moves, letting AD and LeBron sit out different games that we really needed to win. That was ridiculous to me. Like that's
They
why
wanted
Garvin,
Denver, though.
he needed to go. They didn't want. No, they didn't. They didn't want.
They've been talking about it since last summer.
They didn't want
They
Denver to the
They didn't
conference
want that
finals.
smoke.
Nah, we wanted to be playing the Thunder. We would even taken the Timberwolves, but pretty much anybody else but the Nuggets. We knew if the Nuggets was coming, and we was gonna get smacked because we ain't beat them in forever.
I just know Anthony Davis talking about we wanted Denver. That's all I know.
That's you're supposed to say that. You don't really believe it.
But why you saying it then?
You gotta say that for marketing purposes, leader.
Don't.
You can't sound scared in front of the people.
Nah, man, don't be lying through your teeth. Say what you mean.
I agree, Jamal. I feel like they wanted to, because they would have. I think it was a game they could have lost in the one game, but
You feel like if they would have got past Denver, then they felt like if they get past Denver, then they could get through the West. In other words.
I mean, the West still tough, man. I mean, that's
they wanted the team
they
that
got
swept
Anthony Edwards. Yeah, they wanted the smoke.
I think they was betting on the Thunder not making the number 1 seed and being like number 2.
Yep, that's what they were betting on. Exactly, Marcelo. They were betting on the Thunder being a number 2 seed, which was likely the scenario, and that Denver would be number 1. And the Lakers take care of whoever they take care of in the play-in, and then from there, match up with the Thunder. That was the objective, and it came back to bite them.
It did.
And so for me, actually, fellas, I hope that LeBron stays, and I would love to see Donovan Mitchell with LeBron and with AD. But even amongst that, Jamal, let me ask you this question, because the West is so loaded. Do you think they come out the West, or what's their ceiling? Because I asked the question to Jamar and M, fellas. I said if Steph joined LeBron and AD, what would be their ceiling? And I stated it would be NBA Finals. Ian and Jamar stated Western Conference Finals, potentially the second round with the young talent in the West. And I now bring up Donovan Mitchell. Jamar, what would be your ceiling if Donovan Mitchell came to the Lakers with AD?
First round.
First round, hell no.
Nah.
They'll be at the top of the West this time. They'll be somewhere in the top 4.
Not at all, bro.
Yes, they will. They'll be in the top 4.
Go ahead.
Health. I mean, pending health is not a factor, right?
Yeah, pending health is not a factor. With LeBron's brilliance, his intelligence of playoff basketball, his veteranism, AD, this guy ain't no damn scrub. And Donovan Mitchell can score out of the gym.
Yeah, I think the ceiling is out the West at that point, because it basically gives LeBron that quote unquote Kyrie Irving factor again.
It sure does. Now you influence Jake?
No, because it doesn't. But I'm listening. Keep going.
Because it's like what was LeBron like in scoring this year? Was he like top 10, top 15
He
in the
was
league?
top 10, damn near top 5.
Yeah. So that basically that preserves LeBron a lot more on that front. Because I mean, what are we year 21, 22?
Yeah, this
I don't
ain't
even,
like we talking like some scrub. This man is not a scrub. He's not a scrub. No, he can play.
it takes a lot of pressure off of that, and you bring in a consistent scorer. You ain't even got to have it. It basically just it eliminates the part to where Donovan Mitchell have to elevate his team. He don't even have to do that anymore. His role is the scorer. You are the primary scoring option. LeBron will. You'll get everybody else involved. AD, you got the block. It makes the offense smoother. And I can't stand the Lakers at all. And Celo knows I can't stand the Lakers, period. And I'm not the biggest LeBron fan here, but just truth being told, like that would health pending, that would make their ceiling out of the West. I ain't say they win it all, but they ceiling can be out of the West.
Right. And what would be your selling for the squad if they had Donovan?
If they had Donovan Mitchell, they just can't have those three though. I mean, we talking Donovan Mitchell and
Right, we talking about maybe if they got Rui on the squad, they probably have to give up. They probably have to give up Austin, right? Some other pieces, but if you got one of those pieces, Rui or like a good,
I would say get some 3-and-D guys in there.
Yeah, because I mean, those three would be cool. They'll get them to a certain extent, but and I mean, as we all know in this league, and I mean, LeBron is my favorite player, but in this league now, so we have to realize that he's not 28, 26, 25 no more. So I'm not expecting him to. Yeah, he's still averaging his numbers because of his basketball IQ and all that stuff. He's a great player. So yeah, he's still gonna average 25, but I'm not expecting him to go to the finals. I'm not expecting him to beat these 25, 22, 23-year-old dudes. And on top of that, Donovan Mitchell is not a three-point shooter. In this league, you have to have three-point shooters on your team. That's part of the problem why the Bulls can't win. We don't have no three-point shooters, consistent three-point shooters.
Nope.
No shooters on the team.
So Kobe White is not a consistent three-point shooter.
I mean, what we talking about?
He could score. He could score. Yeah, he could score. I mean, he get hot, but he's not a consistent. He's not a three-point shooter.
And he probably could be, but the problem is, who else?
Yeah.
Right, that's the question because
so, I mean, with
ain't
the
no
Lakers,
consistent three-point shooters really outside of Steph Curry. Like
no.
Like,
it's more so like the threat of having three-point shooting out there. Like Timberwolves have multiple people that can shoot threes. The Bulls only have Kobe White. There's like you need multiple people that can.
You need other pieces to open them up, to free them.
It just can't be one.
Yeah, so that would be my thing as far as the Lakers. I mean, that's the problem. That's kind of their problem now. They don't really have no shooters. I mean, D'Angelo Russell is streaky. You know, one game he'll hit 8 threes, and the next game he won't even give you 2 points.
Exactly.
So I mean, what good is that? Donovan Mitchell is a slasher, a streaky shooter. So I mean, yeah, they'll be great together probably. You know, barring injury, but I don't see a championship though.
Which would be basically a failed
LeBron
mission,
at this age,
right?
I don't.
It'd be still a failed mission if they don't win a championship.
Yeah, because I mean, anytime he step on the court and he's still averaging almost a triple double at damn near 40, everybody's going to expect him to win a championship. And me personally, I don't. I mean, it's just we haven't seen a 40-year-old man go and lead a team to a championship. It's unrealistic.
I think he can, man. I really think he can. I swear, I think.
I mean, I feel like sometimes he can, but it's kind of unrealistic. It's almost like seeing a small guard lead a team to a championship. We've only seen that once in the last 30 years, and that's Steph Curry. It's just It's
But
hard.
Steph Curry had a lot of help, right? Like we talking
Yeah,
about
but I'm
like
talking about as the
when
main.
I
I'm
think
talking about
about,
as
I'm thinking like
the
an
main.
Allen Iverson type when you mentioned what you just mentioned. In
But
like Steph Curry had help.
Yeah, but
No,
he's the
but
main.
I
He's
would
the main player on the team, though.
don't forget my
but
boy.
but I would also say like the Warriors team was an anomaly at the time because there's no such thing as a jump shooting team winning a championship, and they broke that mode.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I
we
agree
haven't
with
seen
that. They broke the mold for
just
jump shooting.
just like we'll probably never see. Besides Steph Curry, we probably will never see a small guard lead a team to a championship.
Closest we got was Allen
That's a good
Iverson,
point.
Jason
Steve
Kidd.
Nash in the conference finals, and that was
Well, they ain't win. I take that back.
they didn't
Unless you
win.
consider Isaiah Thomas back in the day. Other than that,
You
that's
can
yeah,
consider
Right, damn,
Isaiah.
that's 40 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
different brand of balls too though.
Yep.
Not
Yeah.
this tissue.
Run down the lane, get slapped, punch, kick.
Get slapped
Nah,
and then get
and
back
all
up and
the
play the
and you
next
got to
play.
think about it. All the great small guards we've seen in the the late 90s, the early 2000s, Allen Iverson, hell, Derrick Rose, the James
Steve Nash,
Harden,
remember
Russell
those
Westbrook,
Phoenix Suns
Steve
team, Tim?
Nash, all
Jason
these
Kidd.
great guards we've seen. John Morant, all these guys. We're not going to see a small guard lead a team into a championship. I'm sorry.
Mm,
That's just basketball history.
right.
Unless you
That's why you
really
got to,
that
and
guy.
that's why you got to put Steph Curry in the top 5, in my opinion.
Oof.
But that's a whole nother conversation.
Uh,
We'll say that for another day, but I get your point though.
I'm with you.
yeah, I understand, but no, he not there. For
He
me,
not.
yeah, we gonna visit that conversation another. Because if I say it, then we gonna be another. Even
You right.
all
You
time
right.
Yeah,
PD.
hold off
I-
for another day.
Yeah, 'cause I don't see how you can't. And that was only 1 point. We didn't even get to the 3-point. We didn't even get to that,
That's
and
like
how we just changed the game. But yeah, that we'll change that for another day.
Yeah, man, very interesting stuff. And so yeah, with that being said, we got to Ann's basement a little early, but let's quickly talk about your Lakers, bro. Because you are a Lakers fan, Marcelo.
Yeah.
And so with that, no, Tiana, not this morning. Maybe next week, sus. We're gonna revisit that. And so, Marcelo, man, we know that you're a Lakers fan. And you mentioned as an example, you ready for LeBron to retire. Tell us why you feel like you want LeBron to retire, and if they do that, or if they just give us everything about the Lakers right now. Because if LeBron's retire, what will the Lakers do then? Just rebuild, or if they were to get a free agent, do you think that they just need to get a free agent realistically, that he doesn't need to retire, and that they need to get a free agent, a nice, few pieces? And because I think they're not too far from a championship contention. So just what's your thoughts on your team?
They're about to drop.
I mean, first of all, LeBron is one of the GOATs, right? Like, I'm not going to disrespect one of the GOATs, man, like that. Like, he's an amazing talent. He's awesome to watch. But one of the things that me as an NBA fan and as a Laker fan enjoy is I like to see my team build. I like to see them get better every year. I like to grow with my team. I was a huge fan of Jordan Clarkson, Julius Randle, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart. I was a fan of watching those guys grow up together, just trying to figure it out. And we sucked, but we were getting better each year, and it was like you could start to see where they were going. Brandon Ingram, and you see these guys leave, and all of a sudden their all-stars are playing big roles on all these different teams. And the thing that I dislike the most about LeBron, outside of he's great, is no team is consistent that he's on. Every team every year is a new team. You can't build anything permanent with LeBron. It's just we chasing championships, and we got to put all these different type of players around LeBron, and we're going to change it up every single year. And that's what annoys me when it comes to him. We can't just grow together. So with him, I mean, he's amazing. I love watching him do the numbers and play the way he's playing. But I want to see something consistent, and he can't be the best player on a championship team right anymore. Like you can't expect him the things that got them the championship, they're still trying to do like it works today. And you can't do that. Like, you got to let this man rest. He shouldn't be playing more than about 25, 30 minutes at a most, playing every day. Like, you need AD out there going to work. And we really need another option. LeBron needs to be about the third option on the team. So, like, if we had Donovan Mitchell come in where LeBron can really take a back seat and then go to work in the playoffs, I think we can do something like that. But we spend, and then we don't have a bench. We never have a bench on our teams. Like, I couldn't even. I'm a Laker fan, and all I know is Hayes, Jackson Hayes, and a couple, Cam Reddish, and a couple other guys off the bench. Like, we playing with D-League players on a bench, and we just letting LeBron and AD go to work every day. So we're not gonna win like that, man. And I think go ahead. What's that?
But to be honest, I'll take it even further with the Lakers. I feel like the Lakers have always been like that, even going back to the Kobe and Shaq days. They just chase championships. Only
about, like the Yankees.
Only that brief stint, where they had Lonzo Ball, like you stated, and Brandon Ingram, all those guys. After Kobe, retired, I feel like they were going to try to build, but then they get LeBron. So now it's okay. Scrap that. We got to win the championship. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they've always been in that mode. I feel like every maybe like couple, maybe 3 or 4 years out of 10-year span, they want to build. But the rest of those other years, if they win a championship or they get close to a championship, they betting it all on this one big play. Like, they went and got Shaq, got to win it. They kind of build with that team, but once they got Kobe and they got Phil Jackson, start winning them championships, then it's, the team is never really consistent, kind of. It's just like, we going to do whatever to make whatever move to win a championship. And it's kind of, I feel like they just kind of always been like that. So I kind of feel like
at least
they've never really had a team develop and just grow with each other. It's always kind of like they just kind of bought their way into winning. And I feel like that's their downfall. I feel like they'll give up and buy everything to get one championship or a couple championships. They'll break it up, and then it'll just fall apart, and then they get trashed, and then they'll kind of build, and then they'll get a little bit of momentum, get a superstar, and here we go again. They got to get the next big superstar or whatever.
And I agree with that part.
I can't agree on that, because some of them championships that Kobe and Shaq won was because of the bench players, bro. Eddie Jones, motherfucking Rick Fox.
Eddie Jones don't have no
Eddie Jones ain't win no championship with the Lakers. The furthest they got was the conference finals with them.
I could have swore he won with him and Shaq.
Nah, they got
Eddie Jones ain't never win no championship.
They broke their nucleus up. They broke Nick Van Exel. They broke them up for Kobe.
They broke them up for Kobe. Exactly. Yep.
But like like that's right. The Lakers we don't draft players to win. We are a trade and win now type of
free
team.
agent. Yep. Free agent.
Yeah, that's how we've always played. But the difference is, like, in those championship teams, like, we had those core players. We had Derek Fisher, we had Rick Fox, we had Robert Horry. Like, we had players that stuck together for multiple years, versus after LeBron and the Lakers won the championship, they had a new team the next year.
They broke it up.
They broke them up.
Why?
No, that's facts. Because, like, I remember one trade deadline, they traded pretty much everybody on the team and brought in a whole new roster the second half of the year.
That was wild.
That was last year, Jamar.
Yeah, that was like 2 years ago, last year.
That was last
No,
year.
it was last year.
That was after the bubble. After the bubble championship.
Well, after the bubble is when they let Dwight Howard go. That hurt
That
them.
was a stupid move in
And
itself.
Rondo.
Let Dwight Howard go and let JaVale McGee go. I still feel, Marcelo, if the Lakers had either one of them, they could have even been relevant today.
No,
I think they would have beat the Nuggets if they had Dwight on
If
the
they
roster.
just had somebody to help contain, I've been telling Jamar and Ennis for years. If they had somebody to just contain the Joker enough, just enough. Not saying you could stop him, but just enough, a real true center. Because I felt like AD is not a true center. He's more of a power forward, not a true center.
That's the truth.
That was the huge one. But then y'all right, fellas. Last year, Jamar, you right. They broke up the team. Damn near traded everybody in order to get Jared Vanderbilt. What was the other dude? Malik Beasley, who was
Gabe
trash,
Vincent.
but he was good with them. And then this year they did Gabe Vincent, who was trash the entire damn year.
He didn't play.
He played in the playoffs, but he was trash. He was just he wasn't what he was with the Heat, which is another knock on LeBron. Because sometimes when people come with LeBron, everybody can't play with him, bro. It seemed like everybody can't play with him
because you got to play on LeBron terms. You got to.
There's only one way to play with LeBron, and the way to play with LeBron is LeBron's going to be ball dominant. You go stand somewhere in the corner and wait for him to pass you the ball. You can't do that now. Like, he needs more than that. He needs to be the one that's standing around waiting for somebody to pass him the ball.
That's deep. Wow. Y'all hear that and think that? How
would LeBron
you think would take that though, Jamar? If he was told that, how do you think he would take that? Would he be pissed off, cry, be ready to retire? What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be half and half. I think part of it he probably realized. I know for a fact he realized he probably shouldn't be playing the minutes in the role that he's doing that part because he wants to make AD the primary option. But at the same time, like there's probably some ego to that. Like, man, I ain't just about to be sitting here just waiting on the offense either. Like, you're just gonna have to find a balance in between.
Right.
But like Cello said, I mean, it's pretty much on LeBron's terms, though. That's what it comes down to. Yeah. What LeBron wants to do, and these teams gonna listen, and that's the bottom line.
They about to draft Bronny.
But speaking of, exactly, thank you for that, because I mean, this is literally what's going on right now. Like, literally, the Lakers are seriously considering drafting Bronny James, in order to keep LeBron James. And so it goes to show you that LeBron gets what he wants. And he runs organizations. And that
man,
like,
dude, it's so jacked up. Like, why? Like the draft a player who clearly isn't ready for the league yet. No. Clearly, just based on a person's cachet. Like, that's what we're doing.
I mean, they've been doing that.
The other race they do it. I mean, so I do understand he may not be ready, but I do kind of feel like he'll probably surprise. But we can't expect him to come in and, I mean, it's his daddy, so we can't expect him to he's not gonna be his daddy. We have to get that thought out of our head. Even if he went back to school, he's still not gonna be his daddy. We just have to get that thought out of our heads.
That's so the LeBron people, man. I do feel like, I mean, yeah, he may not be ready, but I mean, other races do it all the time, man.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but the problem is, like, to me, is the fact that teams are drafting Bronny, they just drafting Bronny because they want his dad. And so now what? You just pretty much wasted a spot, wasted somebody's like career. I feel like Bronny should just go back for one more year, raise his own stock up without needing his dad to elevate.
I agree, he should go back for one more year, but maybe. But Jamar, maybe, bro, they're looking at the Giannis Antetokounmpo brother, Thanos, and they're saying, like, God damn it, this is nepotism.
I mean, that's
if he can be in the league
at his finest, so why not? I can't bring
sure be in the league.
But my God, I mean, that's.
But Giannis is not supposed to be in the league. He is.
Hey,
I know that. We all know that. We all agree. There's no disagreement on this panel. But what I would say is, at least he's like 6'10", 6'11". I don't know. He's tall. Yeah. He's taller. Bronny's 6'1" when he listed at 6'4". And you hear these reports about 2 NBA scouts saying that they would not take him. He's not ready. He's being used as mismatch switches all the time. Like the only way for somebody that small to really make the league and crack a rotation, you have to be elite on defense first. And he's not that yet. He can be, but
score
like Isaiah Thomas was.
Right, and he's not that either. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I think my
he needs to go back one more year.
I think my either biggest issue as well is I heard him talk the other day, and I commend him as a kid because I don't know a lot of people that can stand in his shoes and just do what he's doing, to even come this far from being his son. But I feel like he don't really even want to play with his daddy yet. I feel like he want to get out the mud on his own. I feel like he don't want to play with his daddy at all.
I agree with that take.
It sound like it. It sound like it.
I feel like he want to get it out. I feel like he think it'll be cool, but I feel like he want to get it out the mud by himself. He don't want to feel like, yeah, I'm here because y'all know me as being my dad's son, but I want to show y'all that I can play too.
Right.
That I put in the work too, that I can play too. And it's not just because you may think it's just because because of my dad, but I can play too though. I feel like that's mainly his mindset. And I feel like it's been his mindset since he's been playing basketball. Probably the main reason why he don't even go by LeBron. Because that's his real name. LeBron James Jr. You go by LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel that. Question. The way that the draft process is now, I think they have the ability to go back even if they could participate in the combine. Is that right?
Yes, he does. He has the opportunity to go back.
Yeah, I think so.
He not though. He getting drafted.
He sound like
he's
adamant though. He sound like he's adamant on going to the NBA though. Like really. Like, and I'm like, wow, like
he will get drafted. Should he?
No. Heck no.
No. I mean, stats don't lie. You seen this boy play in high school, you seen him play in college. I don't think he averaged more than 6 points ever. Like
ever.
He's not that dude. He is a role player at best. And if he has a Mike Conley type of role ceiling, that would be amazing because that is a great player for him to be. But I just don't see him. He's definitely not draftable to me at this point in time. And the real draft is for his daddy. Like LeBron James is about to go number one to some other team or something,
Right.
That's a really good way to put that, Marcelo. The real draft is for his daddy.
That's exactly what it is.
Jake.
It's a business.
I don't think it's gonna be no draft. I think the Lakers gonna draft him.
I think Dallas is gonna swing up and just take him in the second round just cause like, oh, come on, LeBron. You said you're gonna play with your son. Let's go. Come to Dallas.
That's all it is.
Right. Well, Bulls, damn it. I hope y'all paying attention. All right.
No.
Look, yes. I hope y'all paying attention because if LeBron come back to the East, we could challenge Boston. Boom.
No. Go.
If we keep
go rinse out your mouth. I don't know what you was drinking today, Brad.
Lamar. We keep DeMar. We even keep Vujovic. We keep Kobe. Bring Bronny. Bring LeBron. I like our chances in the East.
We wouldn't be able to keep all of them though.
Yeah. I'm not saying we'll win the Eastern Conference, but damn, we got a chance to beat Boston. A real good chance. LeBron has owned Boston his whole career. So
we can't be living 10 years ago.
You gonna put my stakes in as a Bulls fan, okay?
No.
And Jake, I don't give a damn what you saying. You'll thank me later. You'll thank me later. I'm putting my bid in as a Bulls fan. Look, Bulls, y'all need to pay attention to the LeBron James NBA draft, all right? This is the LeBron James NBA draft, all right? And put your bid in. Get on the phone. Make a call.
I think he should go back to school.
Absolutely.
Bro, he should go back to school, man.
He should go to BYU or some other trash team that he can go be the best player on.
For sure.
Bring his stock up.
What? So he can average 10 points a game?
Or be on the actual team. Be on the actual team that that's actually swings the ball around like a Villanova or something.
Yeah, because USC was a terrible team.
They were, and he still was bad.
Right. USC was a terrible team. But sometimes, if a team's bad, the chemistry ain't there for you. If you You know what I'm saying? Speaking of a team that
I think they had a lot of injuries,
but
team.
speaking of a team that ain't
including
good,
himself.
the Indiana Fever fellas might not be that good, but we gotta pay our attention to the women, fellas. We gotta talk about the WNBA. All right, it's important. We can't just talk about all male sports. And so, due to that, Jamar, all right, we gotta talk about the WNBA. All right, we gotta do our part to talk about women's sports because it's entertainment. It really is. My Chicago Sky fellas didn't do so hot, man. They were controlling the game, Marcelo, the entire game. Gave up the lead in the last 3 minutes. And the superstar, I forget her name, but she's a nice hooper, as y'all know, for Dallas, the Wings. Took over the game in the last few minutes. Angel Reese, y'all, she looked good at she really started hooping in the second half and the end of the game. And I'm like, damn, okay, she kind of looking like LSU again. On the other hand, Caitlin Clark, she struggled, y'all. A lot of turnovers the first game. She kind of got going in the second half. And then the second game, they just got throttled really bad. And so she's kind of getting off to a slow start, but she's a rookie. So, fellas, any one of you guys got any thoughts? Jamar, any of you from the WNBA, what are your thoughts on Caitlin Clark? Is she going to get it together? Is the Chicago Sky going to get it together? What's y'all thoughts, fellas?
Yeah, I think Caitlin Clark will be fine. It's an adjustment period.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it is. I mean, the game's a little bit more physical, so you got to adjust to that. Adjust the way that they're playing defense on her. I mean, all great players, in my opinion, are able to make the adjustments, figure it out, and still be great. So just give it time. Like, you know, people in this society, based on how everything is set up nowadays in 2024, people are, in general, are so quick to, you know, make irrational decisions after one game or one moment or one sequence of events and think that's going to be the see all be all. Like, oh, she ain't going to be able to do this. She ain't going to be able to do that. Look how she performed here. Look at the first half here. Look at the, like things take time. Stop living in a microwave society all the time. So, no, I think she'll be fine. And I mean, heck, you know, they still, you know, pushing her marketability and everything else with it, and like just let it marinate, let it play out. It's gonna be fine. I mean, but I would say as far as the Fever, I mean, they was the number one pick for a reason for 2 years in a row, so that takes time too. So let it play.
Got a good team, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think she'll be fine. I think people, to piggyback off what Jamar was saying, I think people have a unreal expectation that think she's just gonna come in averaging 40. Like, no, it's still a pro league. It's not college no more. You know, still going to be an adjustment period, just like it is for any up and coming young star coming into a professional sport. It's not college no more. You're not playing against kids no more. You're playing against the women that got families, and you know,
these are the best women basketball players in the world.
In the world,
these are the best women's basketball players in the world.
They're playing for something different, you know. So they're paying to feed their families. It's not like, you know, that you playing and y'all just going to school. Now they hunger a little different. You know what I'm saying? So she gonna be fine, man. She's a great player. She'll adapt and adjust, and these players will be fine. And I think my girl, I think she's gonna go for 3 in a row this year. I think Asia gonna go for 3 in a row. We about to see the women's basketball ascend. They're gonna be on TV more. You know, they getting better flights now. It's about to be a thing, man. It's about to be a thing.
Real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And they even flexed the Fever and Sky game on ESPN on June 1st.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I can't wait to watch that one.
Hell,
shout out to Angel Reese, man. Good debut.
The way them tickets cost, they better have.
I know.
It's so rough with Caitlin Clark, man. These teams changing their games to other arenas, fellas. They putting their games in bigger arenas now because of the Caitlin Clark.
Got to.
No, that's
That's a
awesome.
win.
I think they should be doing that. I mean, Caitlin Clark, I think, is a generational player. I think she's gonna do great things. She's already proven that she's gonna do great things for the league for them.
Mhm.
You know, she had a rough go to start, but I mean, I think Angel Reese said it very well, which was, you know, playing in college, you're playing against one or two, you know, really good players at a time versus you in the league now, everybody's good. So, you know, she's got to deal with that physicality. She's got to she's got to change up. I think she needs to change up her tactics a little bit, and that's going to be on the Indiana Fever to help her adjust because she's a ball dominant player. She chases the ball wherever she goes. You watch the point guards and stuff bring the ball up. She's running to them to go get the ball. I think they're going to have to use her more like a Steph Curry, which is go get that girl several screens and let her go.
I like that, Marcelo. That's so true, my brother.
Yeah, instead of her, she's over there trying to get the ball and just create. But I mean, I think she's going to do very well. You know, it's going to take an adjustment period. Their team isn't going to be anything, any type of contender or anything. But I think she's going to have an awesome season, and they'll continue to grow from there, man. The sky, they're looking okay. They still got to grow a little bit. You know, Angel Reese has to still grow into her own. You know, maybe she can, you know, work her way up to being a dominant force down there. But I don't think she's really the focus right now. I think, I agree. I think that Asia and the Aces they're still going to be the dominant team. But the Liberty are looking good as well out there too. So
Right.
they might have a chance. But I think they're in a great spot right now. I think that a lot of people are, you know, Caitlin's got a target on her back. You know, even though she's doing great things for the league, I think the other women are jealous because, you know, everybody think that they the best and they should be the
Tell
ones.
the truth. Tell the truth. They jealous, exactly.
like Asia was. When
Yeah.
she made that comment.
Yeah. I think that was a ridiculous comment of her. She's a dominant force, but at the same time, it's marketability, man. And just like Steph Curry was marketable to the average person because he fits the mold. You know, he's our size. He's 6 foot. He's a little scrawny dude. Like, it's something that every regular person can be like, I can see myself doing that. I don't need to dunk. I can shoot a three.
That's the only difference.
Yeah, that's what Caitlin Clark is to me. She's somebody that other women can look up to, other girls can look up to. She's just an average looking person versus Asia. Asia is a beast down there. Like, she's a big girl. She's dominant. Like, that's not marketable to the average person. And I think that's all it's about.
And it's funny that we talking about this because literally while a couple minutes ago, I'm having this text thread right now, and somebody mentioned, like, what's y'all thoughts on Asia Wilson's comments about race in regards to Caitlin Clark? And while y'all was talking, I had text this. I said, I think race does play a part, but Clark's game itself plus her confidence and marketability is what makes it different. It's like she's like, quote unquote, the female version of Steph Curry to a certain degree, just based on how she plays and how she go about her game. And I also said this, like, we talk about in the men's game, you know, certain players over the history of basketball being the most influential, and Steph Curry is absolutely on that list.
Yep.
So if you had a Mount Rushmore for female players, wouldn't Caitlin Clark be on that list already?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the same thing. Like you said, race. I mean, it plays a part slightly, but I think it's mainly just her style of play and
Correct.
you know, her stature, and I think that's the main thing. I mean, she has a right to her opinion. I mean, I get her point, kind of a valid point, but I would mainly, me personally, I think it's just think it's the way she's playing, and you know, she's playing more like how the men's game is being played, and I just think it's that.
Right. Yeah, and I agree, fellas. Even with y'all, I agree with the race part. Some of it's true. We cannot deny that. But it's also her style of play. I've never seen a woman pull up from 30. So
not like that. Just like
So
on the move.
Let me ask y'all this real quick though. So with Caitlin Clark bringing, like, her and, you know, Angel Reese and all of them bringing this popularity this year, this flair to the WNBA that's driving in more revenue by far by the means that we have ever seen. And with it only being a 40-game schedule, and, you know, they only play like 4 months out the year. and people gonna want more. So at a certain point, do you think they're gonna be adding more
of the games?
Right. We already know that teams are coming. They already announced 2, and they're gonna announce 2 more in a couple years. But is the season gonna start being longer because of that?
Yeah,
and that's a good question. That's a good question, fellas, because right now your competitor is overseas, Marcelo. Your competitor is overseas who pay more. That's why they go overseas. Well, that's why Brittany Griner was overseas, y'all. She was over there, Jake, because she was getting paid better, bro.
But you gotta
So
think,
if you
does that
expand this
interfere?
league though in, you could then take them away. But keep in mind, they will want more pay, which would then answer the question for a lot of them getting paid 70, 80, 100,000. They have to get paid 200,000 now.
Yeah, but does that interfere with the NBA schedule too if they start to go longer?
if that,
I mean, they're already playing during
care.
the most important part of the NBA season. So, I mean, really, they would be playing over the summer. I think that it more so interferes with just continuing to interfere with the Olympics and stuff like that. But
but no, it won't interfere. They'll be on break, as you know, Marcelo, with the Olympics. They're gonna break the women.
That's true. So
it's like they right now play from what, May to September. I mean, them going
but they
through
going
October.
on break, Jamar, and so they season gonna get pushed a little bit more into October, the finals and stuff, because of the Olympic breaks that's gonna happen in Paris.
No, I'm just saying in general, just going forward without the Olympics, like
right.
Yeah.
I mean,
it would be rival with NFL actually, fellas, because remember around the NFL start of the season, that's when they start getting into the playoffs and stuff for the WNBA.
Yeah, but I count the NFL as one of one because the NFL is gonna get they gonna get its views no matter what. You're not.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's the biggest sports. I feel like in the United States.
I'm just saying as far as like different arenas, because once the ratings go up and like you say they move in games to certain arenas because they bringing in a lot of more people. They start having more games, and it could possibly be a conflict, but they would just have to finish the season, right before the NBA season start, like right before October.
I feel like if they start the WNBA season in like a November, December, it'll mesh well with the NBA schedule, and then you could get a dose of both of them.
But then, Jake, my question is we see what's happening literally right now in Indiana, fellas. Really, right? The reason why Indiana played last night, the Pacers, fellas, is because the Fever played Thursday night. And so then the question would be, will there be conflict of interest with some of these arenas? Maybe that's why their schedules are different. Maybe that's why they play in the time they play.
That's what I was saying.
One thing that I've always been a proponent of is to help the WNBA become more successful is growing up playing high school, playing college ball. A lot of times the men and the women played we played together. We traveled together. The women play, or the better team had the last game, and then the women or the men played the second game, the first game. So I've always thought that possibly to help out the WNBA is if we did some doubleheaders where the Indiana Fever are playing, and then the next game after that the Pacers are playing. I think that'll really bring in some revenue. You got TV that's always already there.
That's Jake's point, yeah. I can see that.
It's just I feel like the turnaround, like.
Man,
like how long does it take to turn around because the floor's got to change.
Right. It's like having an NCAA tournament every night.
But the Clippers and the Lakers have done it. They've done it for years. They've had it to where they played at 3-4 o'clock, and then after that game they switch out the floors and the next team plays. They've done that before.
Right.
That's true.
That's a lot.
Hockey teams too, bro. They got to take the floor off and put the ice on.
That's true though. With some of these arenas though. Some of these arenas, though, do have hockey teams, fellas. Let's keep that in mind, too. What about some of these teams?
Those floors are already underneath the courts.
Right. So it'd be that hard to, what I'm saying? Y'all both.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, you let the NBA start about October-ish.
Yeah.
You could put the WNBA at the end of November, and then it's start. You get your ratings up for the NBA. That now you finna put the WNBA involved. Boom, and
That's a
just
lot
mess
though
it.
on the arenas, and that's a lot.
It's
a
not.
lot though. It's a lot. It's a lot. And
It's
I'm
not
grateful
though.
that Chicago, we don't got that problem because we got enough money as a city to put, squads
They
in the
got two
win
different
trust.
arenas. They got two different arenas though.
Right.
But
But what about some of these smaller markets is my question, fella, like Indianapolis.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's for them to have a season going at the same time. That's tough. I think that's impossible. It's
Mm,
too much.
mm.
Then as
That's a
far as
really good point.
TV go, nah, they can't be on at the same time. And then on top of football being around, no, that's too much.
I
Mm.
And
mean,
on
they
top
on
of
at the
that,
same time right
at
now.
one and then at one time, I mean, then you'll have baseball too.
But
You'll
look,
have the
The
MLB
end of
playoffs. You'll
baseball, the end
have
of
the World Series
playoff,
around that
yeah.
time. The World Series around that time too. And that's one of
Man,
the most watched, the World Series, because white folks love them some baseball.
that's the
I,
only thing that's watched in that sport.
baseball ends in October. Super Bowl, NFL ends in February. It's gonna mesh well, bro. If the WNBA came at the end of November or December, it doesn't matter. That's NFL playoffs. Boom. It's a one and done. What you mean? You could still have decent. You could still have a decent WNBA game if I ain't gonna say if when the WNBA expand, you could still throw some games in there, bro. Like what you mean?
Yeah,
If
but they're
if
gonna be
if,
kind of thrown under,
if
but they kind of be thrown under the bus. Nobody really gonna watch them because they probably gonna come on later, or
So like
they're not gonna
my
get the marketability that they
Somebody gonna
what
be
need.
you,
left out
they
from
don't even have to come
marketability
on later.
standpoint. Somebody gonna be left
After,
out. In other words, then.
Yeah.
so my thing is, if you're good enough, you're gonna draw the crowd. That's just what it is. It don't even matter when you play, what time. And I know it could be conflicting, but if you're good enough and your brand's that good enough, people gonna show up.
But let
but
me ask you this. If you had a choice, to go to a basketball game, I want y'all to be honest. You got the choice to go to a basketball game. You going to see, well, let's just say, who the biggest star? Steph Curry against, hell, fuck it. Give me Steph Curry against LeBron James or Asia Wilson against Caitlin Clark. Who y'all going to see?
I'm gonna
Asia
go see.
Clark.
I'm gonna go see Steph Curry.
Yeah, of course. Steph
I mean, but
LeBron.
that's a bad comparison though. The NBA is on a whole nother level, man. I mean, they've been around for 70 plus years.
Okay, so
That's what I'm saying.
So all right, let's do this. Let's do this. What about? Would you rather see Caitlin Clark against Angel Reese, or would you rather go see De La Cruz from the Cincinnati Reds come to go Wrigley Field?
I'm watching
Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
I'm going to Angel Reese and Caden Clark because I'm not a Cubs fan.
I mean, we
So
gonna say
But that would
say that.
depend, Jamar. That would depend because if we ask Kevin
I agree
Clark,
with
who
that.
is a big vendor
I
on the
agree with
Early
that.
Morning Sports Talk podcast, he'd probably say, "Yeah,
He
I'm
gonna
going to see
say-
De La Cruz versus the Cubs."
So that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
he's
So
definitely gonna say that.
Right?
Once
Because
again,
it depends. It depends on demographics, fellas. This is a huge debate
Right.
here. It
So
depends
once
on
again-
demographics, income levels, all that.
so once again, if you're good enough and your brand is good enough, people are gonna show. Like just depending on what you like, what the interest is. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, Thursday I watched Caitlin Clark play, and I forgot that there was an NBA game on. So
There you go.
I was
You're
like,
good
hold on,
enough.
Yeah.
You're gonna show. It don't matter.
But the question
Yeah.
then becomes,
That is
Marcelo, if Caitlin Clark is 0-5 and she's not doing well, are you still gonna watch?
Well, I mean, it's for entertainment purposes. So I mean,
Yeah.
if
And
she's
so
not
my
doing well,
question
then
though,
she's playing
Marcelo,
like
would you still watch if we in the conference finals now and they 0-5 and she averaging 5 points a game? Would you still watch her?
if Caitlin Clark is playing like Bronny James, I'm not finna watch that game.
Okay, right.
And Bronny
So
gonna
it
come out.
depends. It depends.
But if she's putting up numbers, I'm gonna watch it because it's entertaining to watch. It's crazy to watch her shoot and throw up these crazy shots and they go in. But if she ain't doing it, then no, that's the whole reason why she's marketable. It's because she get buckets.
for sure.
And so these are the debates, though, fellas. These are the points here.
Or
This is what makes it what it is.
I'll ask this one last one. Like same team, same Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. at the in the Wintrust Arena, or let's just say if Tiger Woods was in his prime in the Masters on Sunday, going for the win. Like
I still can't watch golf. I didn't grow up with golf. I can't watch it.
I'm
But I'm
going.
just-
I'm
I have
going
to go with
to
Kevin
Kevin
Clark.
Clark, bro.
yeah,
I got a lot of love people who can sit there and watch the sport of golf. I can't.
Man, I'm telling you, it's
Yeah, I
so
can't
boring.
watch
It's boring. This is almost as boring as watching NASCAR. Didn't
And then
y'all?
I gotta,
I'm an idiot
and then you gotta be quiet too, man. No, I can't.
Didn't
go.
y'all ever go to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway? I know y'all got to before Jamar and Marcelo.
no.
You ever been to the Indianapolis Motor
No.
Speedway?
No,
I'd
no.
rather go to medieval. I'd rather go to medieval times, bro. No.
Hey, low key, I'm going today.
Man, that's crazy because it would depends. Because maybe if we in rural Indiana or rural Illinois, we ask them about the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You feel me, fellas?
I
Hell
mean,
yeah,
I
we're
would-
going to
I
the
would go to
goddamn
that 'cause I-
Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It
I would go
depends.
to that because I love cars, though. So I mean, it just depends on.
It depends. If you ask your granddaddy about horse racing, he'll tell you about the Preakness.
Yeah, and how much he lost on the bet.
For
Yeah.
real.
I want to go to that just to experience that.
Me too. I
Just
the
You know
closest
they
I've
got
ever
the
been
horse
is on
bet.
the Bishop Ford, y'all, on 119th. I went to the batting place with my granddaddy for years and years as a shorty. He go up there and bat on horses.
There's one on Doty Road by Wal.
That's what
by
I'm talking about
Walmart.
on Doty Road, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about on Doty Road. But man, it's just the point. It depends, you know what I'm saying? And so, man, it's crazy, y'all. But this brings up just the beauty of sports and how you got to balance it all, and the marketability, and who, where they live, and what they're used to, and etc. But this all boils down again, fellas. This came from the WNBA. And so that is a win for the WNBA because we talking about it, Marcelo. And that's what we want to do for that league. And so, man, fellas, we could continue this conversation for another 2 hours. This was dope. Marcelo, you were great, bro. Jake, you were great for coming through, bro. Man, Anthony, Daniel, all the other folks that commentated, man, it was a blast, like for real. This was a great podcast this morning. And so, as we do, fellas, before we always head into the weekend, this is what we do, Marcelo. We do final thoughts and shout outs. And so, we're going to start with you, Jamar, start with you, Em, go with you, Jake, and then you, Marcelo, as our guest for this weekend. We're going to give you the final word. And so, Jamar, bro, as we head into the weekend, any final thoughts or shout outs?
First and foremost, Cello, thank you for coming on today. Thank you.
Anytime.
Man, real.
I don't know. I usually have, something else with this. I don't, I definitely just been in family mode the last 7 days. So I would just say, you all enjoy time with your family while the weather's starting to get good around here. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Enjoy your families.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that. Yeah. And bro.
Yeah, shout out to our guests, Jake, Marcelo, great episode. And y'all enjoy these game 7s. Great weather, be safe, and yeah, get that family time, man, like Jamar stated. Oh yeah, and happy birthday to Jamar's son, man. Happy birthday.
Sir, yes, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Man, it was yesterday, right, Jamar?
Yes, sir.
Sir. And last weekend was the birthday anniversary for Jamar.
Yeah,
Wife,
yeah.
and also her birthday. So it's been a busy man lately.
A broke man.
That's gonna be me in July, Jamar. I'm not even looking forward to it.
I know the pain, man.
Yeah, it's hilarious, man.
Yeah. Jake, bro, any final thoughts or shout outs we head into the weekend?
Yeah, shout out to Marcelo, man. Thank you for clearing the air Oh, yo, LeBron.
I figured it was some with LeBron.
I appreciate that segment. You know, as we do every weekend, man. Much love to the brothers, Brandon, Jamar, Ian, everybody that's always tuned in. You know, stay blessed and stay safe this weekend, man. You know,
Sir. Yep.
appreciate the people that love.
Appreciate that.
Yes, really. Yeah. Marcelo, bro, what's the final word?
Man, well, I mean, first of all, I appreciate you guys having me on this today. You know, it's been fun. I've been recently doing a lot of podcasts for my real estate stuff, so it's nice to change it up and not talk solely about business and change it up and talk about, you know, sports. So I appreciate y'all having me on. Jamar, it's been a minute since I've seen you, brother. So it was nice seeing you. We need to have some more conversations, get back on this Call of Duty and stuff, you know.
Oh, man.
And then lastly, man, I've been gone from the family for about a month at work. So, you know, I'm just getting back, man. So about to have some family time. And like you guys said, like, enjoy that family time. And, you know, for y'all that have kids and stuff, remember, if you take interest in them, they'll take interest in you, man. So make sure you're spending that time with those kids and helping them.
Yeah, for sure. That's real.
Facts.
That's real.
Oh,
Factual. Yes, absolutely. That's a beautiful, beautiful.
Just text me.
And so, with that being said, fellas, on behalf of the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, we would like to say thank you for tuning in with us this morning. Continue to chop it up with us and support our podcast on various platforms. And if you would love to talk sports with us on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, we are here and would love to do so with you. Your love and support is truly appreciated, and we hope you all have a blessed and safe weekend. Peace.